Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rafe Cal. We've been playing a lot of Metroidvania games, and there's something that's been distinctly lacking. And that's Metroid. So, at some point, I'm going to do Super Metroid. At some point, I'm going to play some of the GBA ones. But I want to start where it starts. Also, I love this intro, and that's why it's still playing. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work as far as breaking down the video goes, because I don't know how long it's going to take me. I know you can beat this game really quickly if you know what you're doing. I only kind of know what I'm doing. I definitely played Metroid as a kid. But it's not something that I played a lot of, and especially the later, like, I've beaten Super Metroid once. I've played Metroid a lot. I don't know if I've actually beaten I think I've beaten Metroid once. I'm not a big, like, I love Metroid as a concept. I haven't spent a lot of time playing it. You can't shoot down in this one. That's right, you have to go get bombs first. Same thing with shooting those guys that are on the ground. I do remember one of the things I loved about this is just the fact that you could shoot up. It's a neat idea. So this is kind of the game that started this genre to an extent. Let's see here. I think we just go up here. I will be consulting a map because I'm not that crazy. My goal is going to be to just do a section at a time, basically, stop at good stopping spots. Like I said, that's going to be the trick, because I know that there's, like, Norfair's huge. Trade Slayer's not huge, but it's hard. And I mean, the whole game is hard, but Trade Slayer and Norfair and Ridley's Lair are especially hard. The game. So we don't have missiles yet, so we can't go over here, so we need to go this way first. Yes. And I think we're gonna do this first. Get some missiles. Remember, one of the tricks with those guys is if the power-up is still on the screen, they'll stop spawning. There we go. First set of missiles. Easy enough. Getting an E-tank right away would be nice too. That 41 health is kind of terrifying me. Okay, we could continue on into Norfair there, but I think we want to get other powers first. There we go. Brought a friend with us. And long shot. Basically makes it so you have infinite range on your weapon. We still want to use it up close when possible because you can only have X number of projectiles on the screen at a time. Looks like 3. See, we actually want to go back down here and across. And I think we want to go straight across this time. Let's take a look. So our next goal is going to be to get some energy tanks and some bombs. Bombs are really important. It's kind of just the way that a lot of stuff in the game is accessible, and a lot of the tricks in the game work. Oh crap. Not going to be able to reach that. If you thought Zelda's beeping was annoying, you ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, so there should be an energy tank at this next section. And I will feel much less dire about my situation. Oh, okay. Apparently there's a enemy stuck in that door with us. So we're just going to rush here and get that energy tank, which gives us a full health refill also. And I believe... Okay, we need we need another missile. So hopefully one of these things will drop them. Can't remember if all enemies drop missiles. It's been a while since I played Metroid. Aha. I may have made a mistake. So I'm looking at a very rudimentary map, just for the record. There are going to be times where I go, oh, that's not actually accessible, even though it looks like it's accessible on the map. This is one of those. We can still get the bombs, that's good. Bombs. Okay, we need 5 more missiles as soon as we can. It's not accessible. Apparently we just get to follow these guys. Okay, we'll find them. I'm gonna go get the ice beam. Actually, I'm kind of debating between ice beam and just going and getting more missiles and energy tanks first. Crap. Okay. So yeah, with bombs, we actually have a little bit of mobility at least. Or a few things we can unlock. While this is the original Metroidvania, there's not a ton of actual items that give you progress. Like required items, I guess you could say. Yeah, we're gonna keep going and get those missiles and stuff before we get the ice beam. Yeah, bombs unlock a lot. You start with Morph Ball. Ice Beam doesn't really unlock much. Like, there's a few sections that you can, like, backtrack more easily or access more easily with Ice Beam, but I don't think there's any or many required Ice Beam areas. Wave Beam, I'm pretty sure is the same. Obviously missiles, but you get missiles. You basically have to have missiles right away to get anything else. I don't think long shot's technically required for anything. Like, as much as Metroidvanias are built around gating off things with items, the main things that actually give you that in this game are Varia for getting through Norfair, I believe. High jump in a couple spots, I'm pretty sure. Like, I know it's not actually required at the end of the game, but I'm pretty sure there are sections you need it for. Namely to get the Varia. And, oh, what's the other? Yeah, no, that's like the only ones. So there isn't actually a ton of gated off stuff in this game. It's mostly just powering yourself up enough that you're comfortable doing it. This is why we waited on going up here earlier. I don't remember which path is the one to take. I think it's this one. There we go. Okay, got through the first one. If we go up from there, that's where we get the Varia. Missiles? I knew there was a secret wall here. I couldn't remember if it was a bombable or what. There's the one we have to bomb into. I knew there was one. We're up to 10 missiles now, which is a good start. And 2 energy tanks. Much more survivable, much more flexibility. Wait, that's bombs again. This might look familiar. This is that section that we couldn't get to, or that we are now backtracking through. We went up to that area that we couldn't access because of the, or from when we got bombs. There was that area above us that we couldn't access, and I mentioned something about the map not showing everything. Basically, right now it's a one-way. If we'd gone and got Ice Beam, we could technically climb up the backside that way. But I felt like this was easier, because Ice Beam jumping is annoying most of the time. That's unfortunate. Not sure why they made it 5 missiles. It always felt arbitrary and annoying to me. Okay, there's the ice beam. And I believe that should be the majority of our core items here. Unfortunately, everything now takes twice as long to kill. But we can make platforms out of enemies, so there's that. I love how they also put enemies in the ice beam chamber that are specifically not enemies that you can freeze. Like, it seems silly. However, when we're doing okay on items, we can actually now... What? There we go. There's normally an enemy down there that you can freeze, technically. Yeah, we're going to be killing a lot less enemies, basically. Because Ice Beam. And unlike in Super Metroid you can turn it off, which is probably the best thing that they came up with on that. The ability to turn off your powers so you can, you know, have the Ice Beam as a functional tool and not have to double shoot every enemy for the rest of the game. Once we have a giant pool of missiles, we can access, or we can basically just leave ourselves on missiles for shooting regular enemies when we need to kill them. See, that's back to Norfair. I'm trying to remember if we can actually access that or not. Oop. Might be worth trying. Okay, so we're basically going to go gear up in Norfair first. Then we're going to go to Kraid's Lair. Perfect. Okay. So that was the basic tour of Brinstar. We'll pick back up here next time with our first adventures into Norfair. I hope you're enjoying this Metroidvania retrospective. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.